Good morning and welcome to today's pre-market video. Now in today's pre-market video we'll be covering the FinNifty index, what option sellers should do and what option buyers should do in the index. Before that we'll be covering the news which is going to be affecting the market. Now the news which is going to be affecting the market for today is not going to be only for today. This whole week is a heavy news week, whether we look at it on the local front or on the international front. Now on the local front, the real news which is right now going to be affecting us is the GST council meeting. Now since I record this video the night before, as of when I'm recording this video, the GST council meeting is basically, the data is still coming out, and so far I can see it's neither here nor there. So it's basically a very confused, basically officials in the meeting who are not able to take any concrete decisions. The only clear decisions they've taken is something like cancer drugs where they've reduced the GST, but on most other things it is not very clear so far. So that is something we can't really cover in this video, and it has to be seen as the news points come out. Now the international front is where the data really gets heavy. Why I say that? We have the presidential debate this week, we have the US CPI, and we have the ECB. Now the presidential debate, last time when Trump won it against Biden, the US markets did well, which helped us also. Now again, it's going to be the same thing. If Trump wins the debate against Kamala Harris, the markets are going to rejoice because he's a pro-market president. But if Kamala Harris ends up by chance winning the debate, then the markets will head down because she is not a pro-market leader. So that will be something that will have to be seen. Then the second data point which will affect us is the US CPI. This is the US CPI numbers usually will not affect the Indian market that severely, but since this is the last information that's coming out before the Fed meeting on September 17th, 18th, it has come of utter importance. So it will indicate whether we're getting 25 BPS rate cut or a 50 BPS rate cut. The third is the ECB. Now the European Central Bank were the first ones in June to cut rates. So now they're expected to cut rates again to 25 basis points. So since it's already an expected news, that is not what people are going to be looking out for. The main thing people are going to be looking out for is the forward guidance. This is as the European economies are not doing well. Germany had picked up due to the Olympics, but now the Olympic story is over, and now reality is going to set back in. So the ECB will have to give a very sensible forward guidance on the whole thing, and that's what everyone will be watching rather than the rate cut, as that is already on the books. So that's really it on the news front. All these news pieces will affect the FinNifty expiry today, it will affect the BANKNIFTY on Wednesday, it will affect the Nifty on Thursday, and it will affect the Sensex on Friday. So expect this saga to continue, and I expect it in fact to be a very volatile week due to how the data flow is going on internationally. Now coming to the FinNifty index in terms of trading today. Now the FinNifty index has basically gone to a major resistance zone. Why I say that is, if we look at the chart, the resistance between 23,850 and 23,880 is very important. And yes, while I'm recording this video, the American market is doing very well, but we'll have to see whether the FinNifty is able to crack this in one go. If it is, then well and good. If it's not, then this level will cause a problem for them, because there's a counter resistance level here, plus there's a high volume bearish bar. So anyone who's been watching my videos from a while knows the high volume bearish bars and bullish bars, the important role they play and how effective they are. So unless we take out this high volume bearish bar, which is 23,880 roughly, we're not going to get a clean up move. If we take it out, then we'll be having a quick dash. So on the other hand, if we break the support at 23,740, then we're going to be, the bulls are going to be back in trouble, as we'll be going back down. So basically where the FinNifty is structured is between 23,880 and 23,740. So as long as it is within this zone, expect dual-sided moves and no clean moves. When it pops out of this zone is when we're going to get a clean directional move. So now what should option traders do? Now people who have been watching my videos for a few months know there were certain weeks when I was more of an option buyer than an option seller. Certain weeks, let's say the past 2-3 weeks, where I've been more an option seller than an option buyer. In fact, most videos in the past 2-3 weeks I've told people don't go to option buying because it will be very risky. Now today the risk is going to be equal on both sides. Option buyers are going to have good amount of risk because it will be volatile, but that also helps option buying. But option sellers are going to have more risk because they do not want to be caught on the wrong footing. So how will I trade it as an option buyer first? Now, as an option buyer, as long as it is between 23,880 and 23,740, expect dual-sided moves. So you got to trade it on both sides. You got to trade longs and shorts, but this zone is going to be scalping because it's not a huge number of points. So you'll be scalping in and out. If you're a good option trader, then trade this zone. If you're not a good option trader, then do not trade option buys until it breaks either 23,880 or 23,740. On the other hand, if you're an option buyer, when it breaks, if it breaks 23,880, high likelihood we go to 24,060. This is 23,980 is the resistance in between, but 24,060 is the major one, and I believe a break of 23,880 on, let's say, 15 minutes plus chart will attract us to 24,060 easily, and if we break that 24,160, this will be a good move for option buying. On the other hand, if we break 23,740, then we'll get a good down move towards 23,650 and 23,540. So that's the option buying plan. Now what will I do as an option seller? Now as an option seller, I'm going to drop my position size to half from what I usually trade. Why is that? Now, right now basically, there's a higher risk of dual-sided moves which are going to be fast. So you better, since we have been having very profitable weeks on option selling, it's better to now secure those profits, trade with the half the volume and try to make money but not put the house on risk. So now option selling, I will most probably enter put sells first in the morning. And if you're an aggressive option seller, then put sells below 23,650. Put sells below 23,740. So basically 23,700 and below will be what I will be selling if I'm playing aggressive. If you're cautious, then put sells below 23,650. Not at, but below it. So 23,600 and below. Then in the latter part of the day, I plan to sell calls. And there, I will focus on selling if I'm playing aggressive, 23,980 and above, so 24K and above. If I'm not aggressive, then 24,060 and above, so let's say 24,100 and above. I most likely will play aggressive on both fronts, but just with less volume. So it will be something to watch. And also on option buys, keep a key eye on the trend catcher, as it's not yet above zero, so we'll want to see if this red line can come above zero. If it can, then is when you'll get the up move. If it cannot, then we'll just hover within this range. So that's my option buying and option selling plan. Any questions, you can send them to me via WhatsApp or drop them in the comment section below, and I will respond to them. Thank you for watching.